Hi friends, today we have us with Rashmi. So she is from HR batch of 21-23 from Christ University. Welcome Rashmi.
Hi,
Yeah. So we have been
thank you
keep
for
on
having.
we have been keep on seeing people from LOS. So I thought we need to involve all other departments also to share their knowledges. So Rashmi, my first question to you will be like, this 2 years we are about to complete and we're going to get our MBA degree. So this journey would have started well before preparing for a competitive exam. Then we would have cleared, we would have given our Christ interview. So it's a very long journey. So what do you like to share about it? How it was? What do you want to say for people about this journey?
As you said, it was a very long and trust me, it was quite a challenging journey. But I would say the hard work throughout this journey has finally been paid off.
Mhm.
And I would suggest that if anybody wants to embark upon this journey for um, many reasons, if for their career growth or for their personal growth, or if they want to change their course or the path that they're already on, um, just be ready for a nice beautiful challenge, but also it's a lot of fun filled journey. It helps you grow as a person, it helps you become a better version of yourself, and it definitely gives you a lot of skills that are not just for gaining your knowledge or just growing your intellectually. It's just not your intellectual growth, but also your whole personality itself becomes much better. I myself have seen that growth. I've observed myself. I've assessed myself from where I was before beginning MBA and how it has transformed me into a more people person, I would say.
Okay. So my second question is something everyone asks. After completion of first two try semester, how to choose specialization? Because I feel like I'm good in marketing. I feel like I'm good in managing people. Can I become a HR? Should I become a marketing person? So if you could share, how did you choose your specialization? And what is a better way to how to find which is the right one for them will be helpful.
So for me personally, I don't know how other people choose it, but I was very clear on pursuing MBA specifically in HR before I even had to choose a specialization. My
Okay.
reason for coming into MBA was because I wanted to specialize in HR. I was in
Hmm.
a different path before. I'm a civil engineer by profession, but clearly I was not cut out for the site and handling materials coming in for
Hmm.
constructions and telling people that this is the deadline and this needs to be done by today. And um, basically in field it was not what I was cut out for, I would say.
Hmm.
uh, and I wanted a change in careers. I knew I was good at something, but I didn't know what. And I actually went to a career guidance counselor, and
Okay.
they helped me identify my strengths and weaknesses, and they helped me identify opportunities for my growth. And after taking a very lengthy personality test, they gave me a few career options where I would be not just going to work and coming back, but also be excelling and thriving.
Okay.
So, few of my options were to become a consulting therapist or an organizational counselor, or to become a human resource professional.
Okay.
So, although I did have my interest in psychology, my background was already science and engineering. So I did not want to start my studies from psychology from scratch, I would say. But also, I didn't want to pursue psychology midway, like pursuing masters
Hmm.
in psychology without having that prior background
Basic, yeah.
would have been a difficult journey. Of course, I do my own reading for pleasure on psychology, but this was the path I chose based on my background already.
Okay. So, you're a person, I know you love reading psychology books. So, how do you think, is it helpful in real time world? Can we manage people? Because Some people get all of a sudden, interest over some psychology facts. They read some points in Instagram. They feel themselves, they can judge people. So is it like that or it's different?
That is definitely very true. I think psychology is helpful in all walks of life. It doesn't have to be your career or anything.
Hmm.
So I give you a small example. Okay. So when you're parenting a child,
Hmm.
uh, it is difficult to get them to do something that they don't want to do. And this is personally something I have applied
Hmm.
being a class representative of HR.
Okay.
And children just okay, they don't want to brush their teeth in the morning and they don't want to eat what you've made.
Hmm.
Now, psychologically, there is an application saying you don't force your child to specifically go brush their teeth. You ask them, do you want to brush your teeth first or do you want to take a bath first? So,
Hmm.
logically, they have to do both, but it gives
Okay.
them the power or it gives them the um, understanding that they have the freedom or they have the choice. So as a
Okay.
CR, I think I have applied it quite a few times. I've been like, so guys, do you want a break for 5 days later and we can prepone the classes right now and have a full day? Or would you prefer an extra class later and we cancel this today? And eventually both the things that the faculty member wants happens, but it's the way you manage people. And I think my knowledge on psychology has played a big role in managing people.
Yes, yes. I think what point you gave maybe will be helpful for someone who wants to manage people in future. So they give them the freedom to to decide. So automatically they feel okay, this is our decision, we should respect it, and it becomes less burden for the
Exactly.
person to you don't need to impose on them. So okay, we
Yeah.
have something on psychology also covered along with MBA. Okay. So, the one tip which you like to give for people, because most of the people won't come from a tri-semester basis. They will have 6 months one semester. So definitely, when they come for
Yeah.
Christ, there will be a challenge for them. They need to manage their CAs, they need to manage their exams. So, a tip, or how did you manage your work? Because it will be a bit hectic when compared to our UG college. So, a tip for our juniors.
Okay. I'm glad you asked this question because of how I had taken on quite a few responsibilities from the beginning of being in Christ. Just to have a lot of things to say about myself on my resume. To build my resume, I took part in a lot of events, and of course, our regular work is also a part of the schedule. It took me 2 whole years. Now that
Okay.
I'm in the last semester, finally I feel I know how to manage myself. So
Mm.
if what I have to say can help someone else do that from the beginning, that will be a very good thing. So number one is make an Excel tracker of
Okay.
how your day is divided, and make an Excel tracker of what all needs to be done within that week, and have everything equally spaced out. Don't like crowd yourself. And that Excel tracker does not have to be just your college work. It needs to have some other commitments that you have. Oh, I have to go meet this person. I have to make time to go
Mm-hmm.
and talk to this teacher. I have to make time to go and interact with this NGO for my other, say sustainability cell work. So
Mm-hmm.
having that tracker really you not to forget, and it helps you not to feel overwhelmed, because you've spaced everything out in such a way that you've not forgotten about it till the end of the week, and then everything suddenly falls on your head.
Yeah.
So having that time management, there's plenty of I could even share my Excel tracker format where the
Sure, sure.
dates and all I've when once you click, and yeah. And secondly, I would say one of the biggest helping factors for me was becoming the CR in HR.
Okay.
By being a class representative, I had internal responsibility to stay on top of my work, to set myself as an a role model for other students so that they also know that this needs to be done. It's like saying, the CR itself has not done it, so why should we do it? That kind of mentality is there. So to combat that or utilize that kind of mentality in a positive way, I would say, I have done it. Now you guys also have to do it.
Okay.
And another thing is, um, when I was not the CR, I used to miss out on quite a lot of deadlines. I used to
Mhm.
just not be informed. I used to not follow the hundreds of notifications that you get. But by becoming the CR, I get the information firsthand. And
Correct.
once the teacher tells me, and then I tell it to 100 people, it's there already set in my mind that, okay,
Yes.
this needs to be done by Friday.
Yes. Now you have gone to a position where you should send reminders. So you can't
Yeah.
miss out on things. Good, good. I think people, this tracker concept has been followed in companies also to make sure that no work gets splitted. I think no one as student would have thought about having a tracker. That's a very good idea. It will be helpful for students. Okay. Now coming to one of the important questions which I have kept for you. You can answer it with help of psychology and with the help of your experience also. That is, when you have taken HR in Christ in the first year, okay, there was a call who's told about placements are not great for HR. Maybe your friends would have told, your family members would have told, why HR? They are saying it, right? There is no much placement opportunity, number of people are high. So how did you manage that negativity? Because it would have been, it's your dream to do an HR, whereas they say it's not currently good, it's not going good. So many people have this problem because they want to do certain things, whereas there is no scope for it. The society doesn't allow it. How do you you manage and you can say for others also?
Okay. So being an HR was something that aligned with my personality. And that is the reason I pursued it as my career, because I didn't want to be someone who just survived in their workplace, but also was significantly achieving things. And I didn't want it to be like a challenging, super stressful career path that would, I have to do 100 hours of hard work to achieve something. I wanted to be easygoing. So something that I can go with my personality, it goes with the flow, and eventually also, once you start doing the work, the achievements are just gonna come.
True,
So I
true.
just wanted it to be a smooth sailing path. But I would say there's no such thing that would negatively affect me, and
Mm-hmm.
nobody should let these talks negatively affect them about not getting placed. It's not a guarantee that, say you're in marketing or say
Very
you're in
good.
LOS, it's not a
Yes,
guarantee
yes.
that you'll get placed because you are in a specific specialization. The reason you get placed is because of your own competency and your own ability to sell yourself. When you're sitting
True.
in front of an interviewer, the only thing they're looking for in an MBA student is their ability to influence people, their ability to take on leadership roles, and their ability to have a genuine conversation with people, if not anything else. All
True,
the
true.
skills or the practical things that they need to do in the company, they can be taught. But your personality and the way you talk and the way you handle yourself and the decorum you maintain, that cannot be taught by them.
True,
That is something you have to build on yourself. And it's sort of a cynical way of looking at placements actually, but
true.
when you are in an interview, uh, it's just two idiots trying to fool each other, as my HOS always says.
Okay.
They also know their workplace is toxic, but they
Mhm.
want to make it look like, oh, we are such a beautiful company, and you would be lucky to have us. You would be lucky to work in a place like we are. They are trying to
Hmm.
sell that perspective. And we are trying to sell the fact that I am an amazing person and nobody is like better than me. And your company will be lucky to have me.
Okay.
So there's just two perspectives, and it all boils down to the ability of you being able to sell yourself as a competent person.
So, you have told some new perspective for people to see themselves because what you told is the harsh truth actually. Because when a
Yeah.
candidate tries to sell himself, he tries to hide his weakness and sell himself. Whereas, the company also does the same. Maybe they might not be doing well in terms of profit or business. still they try to show some which good part of them and try to. It's a very good perspective.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
all the serious questions and advices are got over. Now we'll go to know more about Rashmi. This is a moment for you. We will start with some casual talks. So we'll assume that I have a special power which I'm going to give to you. You can freeze a moment in your life. It can be within Christ or outside Christ. So a moment which you can freeze and enjoy it for your lifetime. So which one it will?
Um, okay. In Christ, I will pick a moment that was along my MBA journey. So I have been on stage. I have been putting myself in situations where am able to go on stage because one of my weaknesses when I started MBA was my fear of public speaking. I could not
Okay.
go in front of class and give a confident presentation. I wanted to improve that about myself. So I took up a lot of stage speaking sort of responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
And even on my last day, that is my farewell day, I again took up I was actually told by my HOS that I would be speaking representing HR.
Okay.
And I've seen my seniors do it. And but I did not imagine, like, I've never seen the auditorium so full. I've never
Okay.
seen the students sit from the very first row till the very last. And the fact that everybody's attention was on me gave me such a freak out moment on the stage that I don't know. It was a scary but also wonderful moment. And while I was there back then, I was shivering.
Okay.
I was shaking, but I knew I had to deliver my speech with the best smile possible. And I had the speech like in the back of my hand because I had written it from my heart, everything that I felt
Mm-hmm.
about classmates. So I did not have a problem with the memory of the speech, but I had the problem of just like having everybody look at me.
Okay.
And if I could go back in time and pause that moment, I would pause right there and
Mm.
say, hey, look, everybody is watching you. You have a brilliant speech prepared. Just soak it in and enjoy the moment. Stop worrying, stop shaking.
I will also can add on saying because being a participant there, it was one of the best farewell speech I heard in that entire session because every department students came. Certain things were I can say scripted. Certain things were for the documentation purpose. Whereas you covered each one of them, including their names. You told what they are, what they did for from the faculty to the student. That's how it should be. A farewell speech should include all at the same time, there should
Yes,
be truth. The amount of claps you got shows how much truth is there in your speech, actually. And I can for sure say that, what you tried achieving, maybe each time you took up a responsibility to go to stage to speak, has finally gave you, one confidence. Now, once you spoke in this auditorium, I think you will get more confidence in future phases, actually.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Thank you.
okay. Next is a compliment or award which you have got in Christ or outside Christ, which you like to share it with us.
Okay, so I would say um, this was a really huge compliment and an award for me. So we had a separate farewell for just HR specialization, which was conducted by the juniors of HR, and I could not be more grateful for having such wonderful juniors. I mean, when we
Okay.
were juniors, I don't think we even thought about doing such a thing for our seniors, for which, sorry, we never had that in our mind. But what the juniors did for us was really creating more memories, and they made the departure from MBA that much more sentimental and sad for us. But on that day, they conducted this small competition or an activity kind of a thing, wherein you just remember how we used to have Mr. and Miss
Yes, yes.
Fresher,
Fresher, yes.
like that.
Okay.
We had. a competition for Mr. and Miss HR, and
Okay.
after speaking for a couple of minutes about, they were asking us questions by making us stand on the stage, and they even gave us like a crossword puzzle to do. And
Okay.
I think also they even took into consideration about all the contributions you have done towards Christ by being an HR student,
Good,
and
good.
they crowned me the queen of HR. And I
Great,
think
great.
that was very close to my heart. I felt really grateful that I'm being rewarded for all the work that I've put in, all the hard work and energy that's gone into this
Mm-hmm.
journey.
Good, good, good. I think you have answered my second, I mean, other question also. I was about to, the last question was, whom do you want to thank or say sorry at this moment? Actually, I think you have answered it already. Do you have someone else to thank or say sorry using this platform?
I would say I have one person to say thank you to,
Mhm.
and I'll talk about the sorry next. Okay.
Okay.
So the person I would say thank you to is Amina. She's
Mhm.
not from MBA, she's not from HR.
Okay.
She is studying MCA, but she's in Christ.
Okay.
And I got her connect through a friend. She is
Mm.
someone, uh, even without knowing, she has taken such good care of me. She's been there for me as a friend during what I would say was the most difficult time for me in my entire life. That is,
Okay.
I have come outside of my house now,
Mm.
and I did not think I even had my family to rely upon.
Mm.
When I needed a shoulder or I needed someone for them to be there for me. But she took me into her home when I was in a
Mm.
very difficult position, and she, without knowing, has been the person that has taken me from a sad person to back to a normally functioning person, to be able to, again come back to thriving and excelling in my college.
Okay.
So I would thank you, Amina. Even though you don't know what you've done for me, you've done a lot for me. And yeah, being her roommate has been the absolute privilege, and
Okay.
I've never been able to adjust. I've stayed in hostels before,
Mm.
and I've never been able to adjust with anybody. But
Okay.
Amina is something different. She is just the most beautiful, positive person, and I'm just so glad to have met her. I must have
Good.
done something right before. I must have done something good before, but because I don't think, if I didn't deserve, a good person in my life, I wouldn't have met Amina.
So
And
sweet of this.
coming to say sorry, I
Mm.
would say sorry to Amina's cat.
Okay.
Okay, so Amina got a cat when we were living together, and she got a cute like little kitten. She named
Okay.
it Jay,
Mm.
and the cat, I mean the kitten Jay, has also been a part of my support system. I've been, I come home, I have to find Jay, I have to, feed him, take care of him.
Okay.
It's a nice distraction after coming back from a stressful day in college. And you get to play with it, have fun, just irritate the cat. And yeah, that's the reason I want to say sorry to Jay for irritating him.
Okay. So, whatever I have prepared has got you over the questions. So, I like to ask two questions before I wind this session. So, as you read a lot of psychology books, if someone is interested to start, maybe as a beginner, they want to understand how it works. So, you can suggest one or two books for them. And one more common question people used to ask, uh, you know, from a psychology person, like how to live happily or how to live peacefully. Uh, I think, most of the people, when you say psychology, they'll ask you, I'm so stressed. I want some tips to live happily. So you can
Oh,
answer these questions and with this, we can wrap the session.
I don't think I am. I have reached that point where I can provide
Hmm.
advice on being a stress-free person. Like stress is always there, but I don't know.
No,
Okay, let's first talk about
even
book to begin with.
I too understand there is no endpoint for problems or stress. But people will easily
Exactly.
ask, when you say that, you read psychology books, they'll be like, okay, I'm stressed. Try to, make me happy. I will like, no, it's not possible, but not completely here and there. Maybe some tips or whatever. As you told, the perception towards how we see things, no? Psychology itself something like we see our perception and things will change better. So we'll come for the first question. I think that is easy for you to answer. Some one or two books.
So one or two books. The books I say I started with this book about, I can't recollect the name, but it's
Mhm.
about having unconscious bias. And that is what really got me interested into psychology, because I did not even know that people can be so biased in so many ways
Okay.
unconsciously.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that it made me aware of those things and how I actively tried to not be biased in those ways is something that helped me. And a book I would say I about psychology. mm, I would say Games People Play is a good book to read.
Okay.
Um, and I would also recommend people reading um, What Everybody Says. So it's a book
Okay.
written by an FBI, ex FBI agent. He's a negotiator for some, um a negotiation for, like, if there's a kidnapping and there's a kidnapper calling, um, and the case is for an FBI person, and they negotiate. This is so that person has written a book on how to analyze people's body language, what every
Okay.
body says.
Okay.
So communication is key to maintaining relationships with people, and most people cannot communicate, or they're not able to communicate. So if you have the ability to read them without them having to say a single word, that gives you an upper hand, or
True.
that makes you a better communicator as well. So you're not just communicating by saying words, but you're also communicating through your body. So that book gives you a lot of knowledge on that perspective.
And the
Okay,
next
and
question.
secondly,
Yeah.
about being stress free, I don't have a short formula on how to be stress free, but I would say having a place as an exhaust for all your stressors, where you can say it out loud for somebody to listen, is what is the best thing that you can do. Nobody can solve all your problems, but when somebody listens to your problem, that's half the problem solved. So and of course, you cannot give this responsibility to one person, because other people also have a lot of things going on in their own lives, and you cannot really hold them, whenever at your will.
Yes.
When
Correct.
slightest inconvenience, you don't call this particular person. So I would recommend, there's a lot of taboo around people going to therapy.
Mm-hmm.
So but I strongly advocate the fact that people should all actively go to therapy, take it up regularly, and have that exhaust for yourself, that vent, that
Okay.
outlet for yourself, where you can share out all your problems. Your therapist may not give you solutions to all your problems, but they will definitely help you analyze patterns. They will
Okay.
help you analyze your behaviors, and they'll help you grow as a person, and they'll help you deal with the stress to a level that nobody else can. They are professionals. They know how to, they do this for a living.
True.
And
True.
I would say it's important to break this taboo that only, people with mental health issues go to
Therapist.
therapists. People who are mad go to therapists. Like, it doesn't have to be like people, everybody's mad. I don't say it with a positive, I don't say it with a negative connotation at all. Everybody is mad, everybody is going through something. The only thing is, who has the maturity to accept it, and who has the maturity to go and seek help for it, or
True. True.
do it the right way. How to, build healthy coping mechanism rather than unhealthy ones where you disassociate or get involved into drinking or excessive smoking. They're all bad things. What's better than that is you go to therapy.
True, true, true.
And no matter, even if it's the slightest stress, I would recommend, even if you don't have any stress, please go to therapy. I'll give you a very simple example. This hand is my physical health, this
Mm,
hand is my mental health. And my physical health, I weigh, let's say, okay, let's tell my real weight. I weigh 80 kgs
mm,
and I have to go to the gym
mm.
to maintain my physical health.
True.
Because if I don't, I start having some hereditary heart issues that already run in my family, and blood sugar and BP and all those things. And okay, say I go to the gym and my health comes back into my hand. I reach my goal weight, that is 65, I would say. But after that, do I stop going to the gym? What's going to happen?
It will
I'm going
again,
to come back.
yeah,
I'm going to become unhealthy again. Even though I am healthy, I still continue going to the gym. Same way with your mental health. Do not neglect it. Keep going to the therapist. Even if you're mentally healthy, you need to maintain that good health. Have
true,
it in
true.
your control. Go to a therapist. Your therapist is like the gym for your mind. Do
Okay.
not stop seeing your therapist after you're back to normal or after you're
Yeah,
feeling better from whatever
better.
situation you're in.
So I think, there are a lot of takeaways from this video, perspective of how a HR looks, and more about psychology, how to handle ourselves. And what you told, the last one, the therapist, is something important because one of my friend, very close friend, called me and told he has a feeling of something to do harm himself actually. So he doesn't know how to handle, so he wants to harm himself. Then I suggested him to go for a therapist. He too told, I'm not a mad person. I have any mental illness and all. But whereas when we need it, we should go for it. It's not something, we should not think about someone or so that's a very valid point because everyone needs at some point of time. So I think there are a lot of takeaways from this video. Hope you too like this session. Uh, you have shared a lot of knowledge for others. Thank you so much, Rashmi.
Thank you so much, Praveen, for having me.
Yes. Hope you had a good time. And my best wishes for your future.
Thank you.
Bye bye.